Hello everybody and welcome to Omnipoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon. If you guys are looking for the latest PTCG codes, make sure you check out the Potown store. They even have the latest set Darkness Ablaze, and if you use the code Omnipoke, you can get an extra 5% off your order. Today, I'm here with Joe, and we are here to announce a really exciting project that we have been sort of planning for the last couple of months. And we want to introduce you to the Omnipoke Online Play League. As there's no events IRL at the moment, everything has moved online basically, and we decided we wanted to do something sort of in favour of that, build up what we're calling the Omnipoke Online Play League. And yeah, it's a project we've been working on for a couple of months now, and it's finally time to announce it.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. This is hopefully going to be a really nice way to give ourselves and other content creators a lot of content for this season, because the usual schedule that we would all stick to in normal tournament seasons is kind of out the window at the moment. So a lot of us are trying to make ends meet with all sorts of different content. So from a selfish perspective, this is great for us because we have a schedule that we can stick to now and give ourselves motivation to record. So really happy that this is something that we've managed to get 18 other people to agree to, which is really awesome. And, we've got a good base from all sorts of different continents as well. So we've got a good variety. The plan is to have a weekly fixture against another content creator in a best of 3 Conquest series. That's to say that you bring 3 different decks to the table, and you have to win with 2 of those decks. As soon as you do get a win with 1, that deck is no longer usable for the rest of the series. So hopefully that's going to be, around an hour's worth of play time per game week. Hopefully that's something that we can all stick to and arrange our schedules around. So it's, going to be a lot of content you can see, not just from us, but from all sorts of different players as well. And content creators.
Yeah, definitely. And it's not just about the content as well. At the end of the season, we are going to introduce prizes as well as relegation. So there actually is something on the line here. It's still all being finalised, that side of things, but the season is going to be long enough that we have time to plan all of that. But we wanted to kick things off early and hopefully get you guys invested into the league. And during the season, there's going to be lots of different things going on. We're going to have a variety of different sort of alternative formats throughout the season. So in order to keep things interesting, I would imagine a lot of people would get pretty bored with just loads and loads of standard, even though it's the main format we play. Because everything is online right now, it's so much easier to manage sort of custom tournaments, custom formats. And because of that, we will be having sort of different weeks where there will be restrictions or there will be limits to the cards you can use, things like that. So it's not just going to be a load of ADP mirrors or anything like that, that we will be introducing some variety as the weeks go on. We're looking to do between 6 and 8 of these throughout the season, but there could be more if they go down well. There's a lot of maneuverability for us, which is really exciting. As well as we're going to bring you guys monthly updates on deck stats and how everyone in the league is doing, so you can see how your favourite content creators are doing. You can see who's with the chance of getting some prizes and who may be in the relegation zone at the end of the season. So yeah, it gives us a way of being able to express that, as well as look at some deck stats outside of these big tournaments like Hegster and the Sunday Open, things like that. This is even more data for us to analyse and look at different deck stats as well, which will be really interesting. As well, there will be plenty of ways for you guys to get involved throughout the season. Nothing we can announce immediately, but we have plenty of plans over the next 12 months for ideas that we can bring you guys in with and ways you can support the league as well. So yeah, it's a really exciting project.
Yeah, I'm super excited, especially for that stats thing, to be honest, just because it's just something that I'm always into. And as you said, there is going to be relegation for some of the lowest performers in the league, as well as we're going to be putting together a invitational tournament for the top 8 players of the league, with its own separate prize pool to the actual league standings. We're hoping that we can pretty much filter down rewards for pretty much everyone in the league for partaking this season, even those who are getting relegated in the ideal situation. But we're also going to have this other sort of goal to reach towards, which is a top 8 one-of tournament where it's probably going to be like double a limb or something. We're going to have that towards the end of the season. We're going to try and coincide this with the World Championships. We don't really know yet. It's still up in the air whether or not that will even be going ahead, but it's something that you sort of can have in the calendar towards the end of the season. So it keeps, hopefully, the league players motivated to keep striving, even if there's, a clear first or second place player in the league or something like that. There's still going to be a lot of people vying for contention throughout the season.
Definitely. But by now you're probably wondering who these 18 players are outside of myself and Joe. So kicking things off, we do have AzulGG. Azul has really grown on Twitch over the past sort of 12 months. He's really blown up, and it's really great to see because he's a phenomenal player. Huge results over the past few years, especially in some of these bigger tournaments, regionals and internats, and has a huge Twitch following. So we were really excited to be able to get Azul involved. Obviously, with each of these slides, you'll be able to see where you can find these people on YouTube, Twitch, as well as their Twitter, so that you can go and check these people out. With this league, we will be having, like we said, a lot of these different content creators producing content hopefully every week. So make sure you check out as many perspectives as possible. But yeah, Azul is the first person we would like to announce kicking things off.
Next up, we have AuraBomb, also from North America. His YouTube channel has close to 7,000 subscribers. He does a lot of tabletop gameplay, and he's recently sort of jumped onto PTCGO content as well a lot. He streams on YouTube as well as having actual YouTube videos as well. So really excited to see him come on board as well. Honestly, all 20 of the people we've got, all 18 of the people plus myself and Jack is really good. I'm really happy to see everyone on the roster so far. We're super appreciative of everyone who's joined in.
Definitely. Next up, we have another North American player, Celio's Network. Obviously, Celio does a lot for the community, a lot of variety videos as well as just deck analysis, a lot of sort of discussion topics. He's done some pretty interesting pieces over the past couple of weeks as well, especially with how Standard is kind of stale at the moment. So really interesting to see some alternative format of content as well as just a regular format of sort of deck analysis videos. So yeah, another really exciting player to have.
We've also got FlexDaddyRighteous, also part of the Tag Team podcast that I listen to all the time on Spotify. JW has quite a modest channel right now, but it is growing. He's experimenting with all sorts of things. He's streamed even speed runs of things right now. He brings a lot of original ideas to the table, a lot of good content from him. So happy to have him on board as well.
Next up, we have our first European, iCaterpie, Alessandro Cremascoli. Huge YouTube channel and does, again, a real variety of different games, not just Pokemon as well. One of the sort of more infamous stall players and control players in Europe, alongside some of these people like Sander. iCaterpie, Alessandro is always another one playing some of these controlling archetypes, so he's sure to bring something exciting to the table, I'm sure, during this season.
We've also got LittleDarkFury, another North American player, really large subscriber base, definitely a popular player. Always likes to have his own spin on his deck list as well. He plays a lot of games as well. He's always pumping out content, streams and off all the time as well. So very active on Twitter even as well. So make sure you check out that handle, LittleDarkFury.
Next up, we have Pluspower, the first Latin American player. Again, another really big YouTuber, nearly 20,000 subscribers, and another one that does some really interesting content outside of just deck analysis videos. Things like budget decks, things like sort of changing the regular archetype, say, Ascended Scorcher, Eternatus, and bringing something different to the table. So yeah, a really, really interesting player, and another Alex Silver, obviously a great player anyway. So yeah, really exciting to have him on board.
We've also got PTCG Radio. I'm sure all of you know about Wossi. Obviously, he's a fellow commentator for myself. He's got one of the largest Pokemon-related YouTube channels, bringing you guys all the news, all the He's sort of been around the circuit, so it's going to be interesting to see how he performs because he's one of these players that's been around the block for a long time and got a lot of experience.
Definitely a player who's played, I think, almost as long as we both have, and has great ideas and chats to both of us a lot. So yeah, really exciting to get Ross on board. Next up, we have Purple Cliff, One of the biggest Twitch streamers we have here. Isn't too active on YouTube, has a fairly small YouTube still, but his Twitch is really popping off. Does great streams, TCG streams as well as VG streams. Really, really entertaining personality. A lot of great editing, a lot of very, very funny moments as well. So make sure you check out Purplecliff, not just from the content creator side of things based on the league, but also for his actual content as well on Twitch. It's always really, really entertaining.
We've also got Rahul Reddy, one of the top NA players over the last 5 years, I want to say. Always in that top 16 contention, does very well at regional, special, and a handful of international events. He's definitely going to be one of the top contenders, I would say. He's got a modest YouTube channel. He's probably not the most active of anyone, but I still wanted to get him involved in this because I personally love watching his content, and it's really just awesome to get the higher level player perspective as well. So still a growing channel. When he does produce videos, they're all really good.
Rare Candy, another really, really big channel in the US. Eric Smith has had really good results in various tournaments as well. Not too big on the Twitch front, but the YouTube content is there and always does really, really in-depth analysis, especially of new sets and stuff. Always one of the first off the block, and you're going to get. You're going to be able to sit and listen to a really in-depth sort of 3 or 4 hour set review, that kind of thing. So yeah, really good for new content, breaking down new sets, that kind of thing. Definitely a really interesting perspective to hear, and another great person to have on board.
We've also got Tablemon, Pablo Meza, again, another very well-respected player. He's been in the game, since the year 2000, basically, I think. His YouTube channel does have a mixture of TCG and VGC, but he is most known for his TCG accomplishments. He also has a live and active Twitch with a good following there as well. Pablo always is pretty much a cornerstone of the Pokemon TCG, I would say.
Next up, we have Team Fish Knuckles, another YouTuber that started around when we did, to be honest, and has really grown sort of from there, doing really interesting interviews with a lot of players, as well as having a variety of different days where there's a specific theme for Monday, Wednesday, Friday videos or stuff like that. So you're always going to get really interesting content, not just necessarily sort of standard lists, but maybe budget lists, maybe lists with kind of a twist. So someone I expect to be really good at some of these weeks where we have alternative formats, because I would imagine Josh has probably thought of all of the decks before we've even introduced the formats. So I'm definitely going to be looking out for Josh on these sort of wildcard weeks.
We've also got the Sableyes coming in from Australia. Again, it's a modest channel, but Mitch is doing a great job at providing very frequent content, ranging from the super hot off the press new deck list on the block to also bringing some fun rogue elements to the table as well. I know they have close affiliation to some of the best players in their continent as well, so it's going to be awesome to see how these guys perform.
Next up, we have a friend of the channel, the Slowpoke Well. Shea Burton has been doing absolute bits over the past sort of year or so. Grown from a very, very small and humble channel to basically picking up almost all of these subs in around 3 months, really starting to pick up, does daily content, and does a lot of decks that people haven't even thought of. He's done all sorts. Anything you can pair with ADP, he's probably paired it with. So Shea is actually another one I'm really excited to see on these sort of alternative format weeks, because he's going to be bringing something spicy, and in all honesty, it's something that he will have tested a lot and will probably do really well. So yeah, really excited to have Shea on board.
We've also got Trainer Chip, another fellow commentator. We're all going to be having a little mini competition between us, I think, me, Ross, Chip, to see who comes out on top between us, because we want to prove that we're not just behind the desk because we can't play Pokemon. Chip obviously has, again, a tremendous following. Has a good number of tournament results behind him as well, and is, of course, an official commentator. So both on the YouTube and the Twitch, mainly focusing on the competitive side of the TCG.
Next up, we have Andrew Mahone, Tricky Jim, another huge YouTuber and another huge Twitch streamer as well, doing really, really interesting content. A lot of old format tournaments and sort of discussions as well. Basically spans the whole 20 to 25 years of the TCG. We'll look back at old formats. We'll be developing new archetypes. Streams every single day as well. Every single weekday, I should say. So definitely always got his head in the game. And a really consistent performer in IRL events as well. So definitely a pretty it's going to be pretty difficult to trump Andrew. I think he's going to definitely cement himself in the top half, I would expect to say.
We also have Zapdos TCG, a fellow European content creator. His YouTube channel is not called AzulGG.
Oh, it's not called AzulGG. It's called Zapdos TCG.
It's called Zapdos TCG. I think the sub count's correct, though.
The sub count is spot on.
Zapdos TCG, known not only for being a fantastic Baby Blounds player, but he's also played a ton of decks in his time. Also likes to weave in raps here and there to his videos. So definitely provides something different to the rest of us out there on the TCG side.
For sure. And finally, as we've said, myself and Joe will be taking part as well. So yeah, that with all 18 of those players plus myself and Joe, we feel we have a really wide variety of different regions from around the world, different sort of aspects of content creation, big Twitch streamers, big YouTube, big players with big YouTube supporters. There's a big variety of players here, and we're really excited to work with every single one of them. And from what we know, all of them have been really excited about this project as well. They haven't been able to say anything until now, but with the release of this video, they will be able to finally announce them taking part.
And yeah, this league is actually kick-starting from next weekend. So we're starting 21st of September. They have a deadline until the 27th of September or the 28th. I can't remember what it is. But basically, they are pretty much being independent. We're giving them license to arrange their times. Obviously, there's a bunch of different time zones going on and stuff like that. But within that week, we're hoping that you will see a bunch of different fixtures going up. Like we said at the start, if you are having a home fixture, which 10 players will each week, they are obligated to record or stream, or at least we would really hope that they do, and any other players on away fixtures can also do so as well. So we're hoping you guys have access to a ton of this league content every single game week. So that's going to be really, really exciting. And let us know who you're supporting, who you think's in contention for relegation, who you think's going to be taking the crown, who you think's going to be making that top 8, who are you going to be backing throughout these weeks. It's going to be really interesting to see how the league shapes up.
Definitely. We will be posting the fixtures for each upcoming week on Facebook and Twitter every Sunday, so the players will get them a little bit earlier, but we will post them for you guys so you know exactly maybe some key matches you want to look out for, some key content creators that you want to be watching, and the first league table update, as well as some stats with what's been played for the first 4 weeks of the tournament, will take place with myself and Joe following week 4. So in around a month's time, we're going to take a look at all of the decks that have been played, all of the stats. And whilst it will be a fairly small sample size, it will still be somewhat of a sample size, especially to get a load of people in at once and have a look at how decks are doing. This is the first week of fixtures, just so you guys are aware. So the home, as Joe said, the names on the list on the left are the home names. So these are the people you can be hopefully expecting to see some content from, guaranteed, but you could also see some content from the people on the right side as well, which is exciting. So yeah, this will be the format that they're posted in every week over on our social media, so you can see exactly where you need to be tuned into to find out some of these really interesting matches, hopefully.
And yeah, we hope that you guys are all excited for this project. Myself and Jack have been putting a lot of time in, approaching the different content creators, trying to pitch it to them in the first place, and then getting a lot of background stuff done to do with getting our league table sorted, running the Discord, that sort of thing. So there has been a lot of back-end work preparing for this sort of thing. And I'm sure there's more work that's going to crop up throughout the season, but we're hoping that this is an appealing sort of amount of content that you're going to be able to have access to for the entire season, now that we don't really have the same tournament schedule that we're used to for the time being, at the very least. So hopefully we're trying to make it as good of a spectator sport as possible. We're trying to keep things exciting, keep you in the loop with that league table as much as possible. Also keep things with a decent amount of variety, with each person bringing 3 different decks every week. That's obviously flexible, and we're having different formats weaved in there as well. We can try and be ahead of the game in terms of release of new sets as well. We can maybe have a couple game weeks here and there before the actual release, where we potentially move on to Tabletop Simulator, or even just do IRL battles over like Discord or something like that. So we're hoping that it's going to be for you guys as much as possible, and it works for you whenever we can. So yeah, I'm really excited for it. I've got my opening fixture with Ross. Jack's got his opening fixture with Rahul. And yeah, we're getting straight into this, starting to sink our teeth into it and try and perform the best we can throughout the year.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be really exciting, and like you say, something for everyone to hopefully get involved with and know that there is a constant sort of amount of content throughout, where we don't know when we're going to have tournaments, this, that and the other. So hopefully some kind of constant will be good for you guys as well as good for us. But yeah, we're really excited, and hopefully you guys are as excited as we are. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. I've been Jack with Joe from Omnipoke, and we look forward to seeing you in the first week of the league kicking off next week.